Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26, Colorado Rockies, in our homegrown second chance series. So, how's it going? No. First of all, first video what was pretty well received. Thank you to everybody who watched. If you haven't watched it already, you can feel free to go back and pick that one up. 65 views as of the time of recording this video, which is pretty exciting. What else? Thank you very much to Itachi DMF, who said excellent idea in video. Love getting feedback like that. Aritaga Roasted Pots comment in the Friday video, in case you missed it. I've increased the text size, but I do recognize that if you don't also have a widescreen monitor, sometimes it can look a little bit difficult to see. One thing I'm going to start doing, and I already started doing this a little bit in the last episode, but I'm going to keep doing it in this one as well. I'm going to try to make sure that I read aloud as much as possible. That I'm not just saying, look at this, I'm telling you what it says, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. But I do respect and recognize that it may be difficult for some people to see. But hopefully the bigger text size helps, because that's something that I did in the last episode. I set to maximum font size, so that's fun. Okay. Last episode of this, we played quite poorly, but that's what we expected. Still better than the real-life Rockies, 100%. We have... Oh, that reminds me. This happened in the other game, too. It is much more important to me that I have the... what is it? The team stats here. That's more important to me. Here you go. Our team was bad, but it could have been a lot worse. And we're just gonna have to keep reiterating. We're going to keep building up to getting to a point where this is a sustainable franchise. Looks like we had a couple coaches to hire, so we'll start with that. Staff roles. Somebody that's controlling would be nice. Maybe. I think I just never hired an assistant GM, which is funny. I want GM ratings. Let's see. Filter, choose personality. It's under coach ratings. No, what is the general info? Nope. It's under coach tendencies. Here you go. Well, somebody that is controlling, ideally. What do we got? I can get Farhan Zaidi, the guy who used to run the Giants until recently, and make him my assistant. Maybe. Yeah, let's go for it. No, I want somebody who's got high dev preference. I just think that makes sense. Let's get Matt Biggers. He seems cool. Let's do it. Can you be my assistant? You can bask in my reflected knowledge, and I guess. We also have another job to hire, which is our pitching coach for the Rookie League. I mean, I would be over the mood to grab Glendon Rush. I'm not saying it's very likely, but it could happen, and I'd be happy if it did. I think he's the perfect candidate. Remember, in your lowest of minor league systems, you want to make sure that we've got mechanics going on. I think last episode we did do a quick overview of who's ready to go where. Did I leave anybody behind? Eric Bautista only had 150 at-bats. He's also only 20 years old. I think he can repeat A-ball without us having any issues. Sandy Ozuna still got some upside on him. He's still got some development risk. I think letting him at least repeat high A for a little bit longer is going to be pretty good. It's going to be very helpful. Roniker Palmer's a pretty decent defensive catcher. I think he can be promoted. I don't think there's a problem with that. Brian Castillo can be promoted, sure. I also want to start demoting people. That's something I didn't do last episode. If someone had a negative war that's more than like a rounding error, they get demoted. Antoine Kelly, double A. Yeah, for here, Kevin Tucker down to high A. Bugarin down. Wait, what? Wait, he doesn't match the rules. What rules are we talking about? What is wrong with him that he can't? Oh, he might have too much professional time, which means he can't be demoted. But he can't be demoted, and he struggled that much in double A. I guess we'd let him repeat the league, but I'm not happy about it. I'd rather demote him. Aiden Longwell, go to low A. I mean, it's not really that big difference between low A and high A. It's more just a matter of, yeah, you're overmatched. Let's let you get some more experience. Wilmus Paulino barely played, and so I think it's more useful to him to stay in high A and repeat the league. And then this all looks fine. Yeah. Our minors are quite chonky. We have way too many people at the AAA level. We have way too many people at the AAA level. I think that's fine. I think I don't mind that. I know the real life major leagues have roster limits. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe need to enforce roster limits. I really don't think I care right now. I think this is the kind of thing that'll just sort itself out. Plus, there could be people that are pending minor league free agents. Oh, that is something I do want to check. More important than waivers, I want to see my Rule 5 eligible people. I want to make sure we don't forget anybody. We don't overlook a good prospect. One thing you need to stop doing is I need to stop saying, oh, high potential, protect them from the Rule 5 automatically. Jaden Hill is a pretty good pitcher. He's also a captain. I think I'm completely fine to put him on the 40 man, but I'm not gonna do it reflexively unless it's somebody that actually has either really good prospect or somebody that's a position I desperately need. Bryant Betancourt is an acceptable catcher, but isn't anything fantastic. I do like Benny Montgomery quite a bit. I think he's actually got a good bit of potential. I like his defensive capabilities. He's kind of fast. He's got an okay skill set. I think he's definitely worth keeping on the 40 man. Everyone else, if they departed, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Just wouldn't. So the real question is, do I turn on minor league signings and releases? I think at a certain point, I'm going to want to just start calling the minor leagues, or at least move into the majors, figure out something. But that'll also kind of sort itself out too. So we're not going to worry about it for the moment. All right, player development. Let's get some prospects prospecting. Jaden Stroman, with nothing better to work on, you're going to improve your control. Would you think Jaden here could be a genuine two-way player? I don't think so. I mean, his offensive upside is fairly minimal. It's not zero, but it's not high either. He's good defensively, so it doesn't hurt for us to let him play the field a little bit, but I'm not going to focus on it. Charlie Condon, the single most important thing you can do for me is you can hit for contact. I think actually cutting down strikeouts is the best thing you could do. Which I'm pretty sure is two-strike approach, if I remember correctly. Yeah. There we go. Done. Cam Canarella, frontline infantry. I mean, plate discipline. Sorry, that was a Simpsons reference for those of you scoring at home. Sandy Ozuna, work on your control, please. Yanquiel Fernandez is interesting. This is the kind of player that makes for us a pretty decent trade chip, because I think other teams are going to look at his skills and get excited. And I'm not unexcited to have him on the team, but I think he's the kind of guy where if we flip him, we can get an okay return, and that's something that I think we're going to have to be aggressive about. We don't want to keep prospects for too long because it's literally our only way of making players. He also had a rough year, though. That's my big concern. He was actually pretty poor in his limited at-bats. I think trading him now is stupid. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to work on his plate discipline. I know. A long way around something I was going to do anyway. Jaden Hill, I want you to work on your secondary pitches. It's an easy thing to work on that should pay big dividends. So let's do that. Work on your secondary pitches, please. Is there anyone at the major league level that needs to learn a new position or something? Charlie Condon's already covered. Nope, I think we're okay. So go back to prospects. Oh, are there really roster limits in the major leagues? I guess we're going to make this as fair as possible. I should impose them if they exist, huh? I don't really want to, but maybe I should. Let me see here. I know I'm not doing it in the White Sox series, but I think here... Let's see. Minor league roster. Oh yeah, there is, in fact, roster limits. Let's get that started then. Let's go ahead and enable that. It'll also force you to cycle prospects more, which I think will be interesting. I think it just makes the game more realistic. But they have to do it at every single level, which is kind of gross. I guess it's fine. Where are roster limits? League settings, leagues and teams, rules. Here we go. Alright, so the roster limit size for AAA is 28. That's 28 across the board. Okay. AA is also 28. High A and single A are both 30. And yeah, so there is a minor league experience cap. You can only have so much time in the minors. I said that was 30. Yeah. 30. I do think this will also give a more accurate idea of how you should manage your rosters. Is pretty good. Rafael Devers, by the way, let's talk about him a little bit. I thought that trade that the Red Sox made was interesting. And it definitely signals to fans, I think, they can't be taken seriously, because that's the kind of player that you build around. It's not necessarily a player you get rid of. Those of you who are long-standing fans of the channel, so by the way, the professional, the U.S. stateside rookie leagues have no roster limit. The Dominican League does have 35. Anyways, so what was I getting around to here? Yeah, so Rafael Devers trade. If you are a longtime fan of the channel, you remember when the Marlins traded Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees, and I did an entire video about how you could have done better. I think for Devers, because he already had this gigantic contract, getting that off the books And without keeping any of it, it was actually pretty impressive, which is why I don't give the Red Sox too much shit about it. But I do think it sends the wrong message to your fan base. I think it tells your fan base you're not actually serious about competing. All you care about is saving money. Um, and if you're a small market team, that may be the reality that you face. If you're a Milwaukee, if you're a Cleveland, if you're a Pittsburgh, you don't have the monetary resources of, say, a Chicago or New York. But this is the Boston fucking Red Sox. I don't get it. I don't get it why you would send that kind of message to your team, to your fans specifically, that we can't compete. Okay, well, if you can't compete, then why are you bothering? Like, why are you even in the business of professional baseball if that's what you're facing? That just seems silly to me. It seems very foolhardy, and I think it's something that's going to cost them some fans, and more importantly, I think it's going to cost them some. Other free agents might look at them and be like, maybe we don't want to play here now. If we're just going to get traded. I think the Mookie Betts trade, by the way, was far stupider. I think they shot themselves. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the balls with how stupid that trade was. But I don't think this one was as stupid as that, but I don't think it was very bright either. So we're going to have to make some decisions about the AA League. We're going to make some real decisions about it, because AAA, because we have 10 players over the limit. Obviously, one of them can go to the major leagues, and we'll definitely talk about that. We're going to have to make some decisions about that. So anyways, that's just my take on it. From a video game standpoint, I get it. Financial flexibility is so crucial that you want to do anything you can to keep it. Sorry about that. Okay, we're going to start culling the minor leagues a little bit. Cut. Players with low overall and low potential are just not of interest to me. So I think cutting them is a reasonable expectation, maybe. Let me release these guys first. That's 7 players. Does that get me under the limit? Well, I couldn't release McCade Brown. Why not? Oh, because he's on loan. Yeah, well, you're coming back and you're getting cut. That was kind of cruel. Like, hey, buddy, come on back. He's like, oh, wow, thanks. You're the best. Oh, no, you're cut. I'm sorry. And he's like, womp womp. Let's switch to ratings here, actually. Is there anybody else here that I should really just dispose of? That sounded terrible. But maybe. A defense-only first baseman, even as a captain, isn't something I'm really interested in. I think we can let him go. I think we can purge the unbeliever. I think Jose Cordova is fine, but I've also already got 2 catchers. I've got 3 catchers in AAA. I don't need 4. So I think Jose Cordova can take a walk. 2 more cuts. Nick Kent. He's the second baseman. There's nothing about the skill set that ever convinces me he would play regularly. And he got obliterated. I think he is done. I think Nick Kent is going to find himself a new team. 1 more to go. It's going to be Mason Green, I suspect. He's 26 years old, and he's been treated like batting practice ever since he got into AA. So I think he can depart. I guess I could send him... No, I can't send him to AA. Never mind. Can't be done. Okay. Alright. Let's check on arbitration. Because they're going to lose a bunch of guys here. I would like to keep Carlos Luna if I could. I think I'd also like to keep warming Bernabel. I think there's no harm in letting him come back. I probably should have waited And signed new players later, but I didn't, so whatever. We got 3 guys up for arbitration. We have Herman Marquez. I cannot keep him. I wish I could trade. Oh, I could keep him. Hmm. He's been fairly consistent. He's maybe not an amazing pitcher, but he's a good one. And somebody has to pitch baseball for us. Like, it's legally required. We must have at least 5 players throwing baseballs for us on a regular basis. I'd rather trade him if I could, but I can no longer trade him. I don't think. Can I? Yeah, I can't because he's no longer in a contract. I just don't think it's smart. I don't think it's a good idea. I think this is his best season in a couple of years. And while he's still a good pitcher, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not even saying that $10 million is a reasonable amount of money. I'm saying $10 million for a guy that's already 30 is a risk I'm not willing to take. I don't think it's something I'm interested in. Peter Lambert is fine. Like, he's nothing terribly thrilling, but he's acceptable. We could please give him another year on of arbitration to deal with it. Go. Ryan Feltner wants a raise. Ryan Feltner can have one. I think he's earned it for sure. Yep. There we go. Job done. Bretton Doyle, I like a lot, but I also think his skill set needs to perform better this year. We need him to be hitting close to 300 for him to get the maximum value, but I can at least sign him for now and feel good about having a pretty solid center fielder. He wants a big league contract that's this long. That's a hard no from me. I get it, but no. Now, in the future where he continues to produce, we can absolutely have this conversation again next offseason. But for right now, that's a hard no from me. That's not a good idea. It's not very smart. What happened to the entire offseason? Huh? Oh, I see. That was weird as shit. I was like, did I just break the game? No, no, we're fine. We're fine. Let's just skip on down to free agent filings. There's nothing we really have to do in the meantime. Must activate Tyler Herb. Do I have to? I guess I do. I guess I have to activate everybody, don't I? Great glove and platinum stick. No, 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 no. It's under league settings, rules, options. Interesting. It is set correctly there. It just didn't say it there. That's a little strange, but okay. Do I have to maybe hit like enter? What if I do like enter and then enter? Does that change it? No, it still doesn't. Okay, well that's fine. But he's not going to win very many awards, if any, so I'm not worried about it. The Mariners will give me Ryan Bliss. Sorry, he's played for another team. No, thank you. That's illegal. Nope. Not interested. Sorry, the rules of my baseball club state that I cannot trade for major league players. I can only trade for minor league players. Biggers signed, which is nice. It's good if you can get it. Fans love them some Brenton Doyle. Message received. Jeff Criswell's going to be back in about 7 weeks. Okay. Fine. Giants. Nope. Mariners. Nope. I understand you think it's a good offer. I don't disagree with you. I think Ryan Bliss is a pretty talented player. But that's not how we roll in Colorado anymore. I know you've played in the majors, so you're a no from me. I guess we should just reject the trade, huh? I guess I shouldn't string them along. I guess that's rude. Yeah. It's going to be major leaguers from minor leaguers. It's going to be most of my trades. So, yeah. Nelson Velasquez. Nope. I cannot. It is not permitted. Carlos Luna took a deal to come back. That's amazing. Good for him. Hey, we got a gold glove for Ryan McMahon. Nice. Brent Wisely. Nope, too close to Weasley. I don't want Ron Weasley on my team. I don't want any of the Weasleys on my team. 2 gold gloves is nice. That doesn't suck. Austin Martin has played in the major leagues. Sorry, guys. No can do. Guys, we didn't win the MVP. I know you're devastated. I am too. What an incredible franchise to not have the MVP. Okay. The Tigers, he's 30 years old. He's played in the major leagues. That's a no for me. That's a very no. Much no. All right. So a lot of these guys are of no interest to me. But we're still going to look. New franchise malpractice, so we didn't look. So let's do that. Tyler Thornton, 100% we sign him. Like, no concerns whatsoever. I don't care if he never works out. He's got a huge amount of upside, and that's pretty sexy to me. What is your deal, Edgar Isaiah? My bullpen's not so good, doesn't need reinforcements. You don't have any experience in the major leagues. I think you're a fine choice. I think we can make that happen. Jose Garces, we can absolutely sign to a minor league deal if you'd like. One second. Sorry, Ryan Brazier, too experienced for me. Carlos Espinoza, not that interesting. Alright, so we did all this. We could get Marco Corcho, I suppose, but not really. Is there any international free agents here that are of interest to me? There is Do-Hyun Kim. He's way too expensive. So I think these players are acceptable. They fall within the rules of the game. Also, I wouldn't get him anyway because he sucks at his job, but I think the international free agents are okay as long as they've never played in the major leagues before. I think that's acceptable. Nestor Cortez wants way too much money. He must be an international free agent. A lot of these guys already know are like real life major leaguers, so. Danny Coulomb, yeah. I wonder if there's a way I can filter on. Isn't there a last team? filter, like under miscellaneous info. School, no. Is a rookie, no. Hmm. Team chemistry, morale, transactions, no. If I do team short, I don't think it matters, does it? Because they're all free agents. Um, let me try this. Let me try Play Princes. Is at most 0, and let me hit OK. Oh, because this is only for hitters? That's a problem. Okay, well, forget that idea. That doesn't help. Oh, if we look at league level, is not Major League. Oh, it doesn't matter because I'm not actively on a team. Can I get the last team? That's what I really want. Man. That sucks. Like, this will help a little bit. Like, if I pick, draft year, if I pick is less than, like, if I just put, yeah, is less than, like, 1, this doesn't do anything. I don't know how I feel about that. Fuck! Oh well. We tried. We tried. If anybody knows, by the way, if there's a better way to do this, I would be very, very happy. Pixel filter columns. What does this do? Oh, does this let me actually filter on here? That's kind of neat. Regardless, oh, what if we do batting stats here? No, because it's the current batting stats, which are always going to be 0. Oh, here we go. If I do time frame last year, all right. So this kind of gets me where I want to be. Sorta. Wait, what's happening here? Okay, all batters. Now I can't see. Problematic. I still think there's a way to make it happen. I think we're just gonna have to pick and choose who we want and just look at them one at a time. It does make the offseason a little bit tedious, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Because really just looking for the highest potential players. We could look for overall players too, but the thing is, a lot of those guys aren't going to be appropriate for us. Because a lot of them have Major League experience, which is no bueno. You're definitely a Major Leaguer. Yeah, don't try to trick me, bro. I know your games. I can't believe Ryan O'Hearn. I can't believe Casey Mize is sort of just sitting there and nobody wants to pay him any money. That's a little sad. Caleb Ferguson. Walker Buehler can't find a major league team. How sad. But I guess I could sort by age, right? You know what we're gonna do? That is filter I think would be helpful. I'm gonna pick where's age? Where is age? There it is at most let's say 30. That's going to clear out a lot of noise and should hopefully help us find the players we're looking for a little bit faster. Hey, look, it's Casey Mize again. Luis Urias, yep, he's. Aaron Savali's a former big leaguer. Ryan Smith probably is. Maybe not. Ryan Smith has never played in the major leagues. Okay. Maybe we'll give him that opportunity, you know? So this, I'm gonna save this filter. I'm gonna call it less than 30. There we go. Done. Kyle Wilson has never played in the major leagues. I mean, I can see why he's not very good. Let me look at hitters. I want to focus on that because that's somewhere we could potentially add in some decent pieces with the right luck. Devin Main has never played in the major leagues. This is somebody I'm actually kind of excited about. He's got good flexibility along the infield. He's got the kind of bat that might work out all right. I think Devin Main is the exact kind of player that we'd want to offer. Like, look, we're a bunch of second chance rejects, right? He's the kind of guy that we're looking for. He's the kind of player we want to encourage. Kyle Lewis has major league experience. No tricking me there. Xavier Fernandez just played in Mexico. I kind of see why he's not a very good catcher. Oh, I just cut him, didn't I? Maybe. Yeah, actually used to play for us. That's kind of funny. I don't think so. I don't think he's somebody I'm interested in picking up. Jameson Hannah. Maybe. Yeah, we can consider him. Maybe. I think I'll just worry about who to keep and who to cut when spring training starts. I think that's better than having it take forever. And I think that's it. Oh, Orlando Martinez, 27 years old. He's all right. We can take him. So actual money is changing hands at this point, and that's probably acceptable. Coco Montez is like, fuck you. I don't want anything to do with you. You know what? That's how you feel about it, then that's okay. Alright. I think it's a good enough list of players. I'm going to create a new shortlist. I'm going to create one called create a shortlist. So we're going to call this one Second Chance Squad. And when these guys actually sign, we'll add them to that shortlist. These are going to be like the throwaways that we pick up and maybe turn into interesting players. That's it, my friends. I guess we could talk to Herman Marquez, but I don't really want to. I don't think it helps. We got some really cost-efficient players, which is tasty. That's pretty helpful. We have a little bit of money. We just don't have very much of it. I think we have to really build up our fan loyalty in order to really start seeing a return on investment there. Also, guys like Kyle Freeland are being paid way too much money relative to the actual contributions to the team. I think Kyle Freeland is way too expensive for us. Yeah. All right, let's advance up to Hall of Fame voting. Trade proposal. Levi Jordan. Nope. He is illegal. What do I want? I'd love to get a dynamic young hitter, but I don't know how we would come away with that. I don't know what I have that people want, is my issue. Trade proposal. We could get Peyton Eels. We remember that guy. I feel like probably no. I think he's the kind of guy I might be interested in, but I feel like he's the kind of guy that we don't sign just for one reason only, just because we had him in the White Sox series. But I guess it could be fun to just see how he does with us instead of the White Sox, but it is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. A new trade proposal. Max Schumann absolutely does not qualify. He is breaking the law of baseball. All right, so Tyler Thornton took a contract, so he's going to be in our second chance squad. Now, people keep asking about Elohiris Montero. This is telling me that he is a desirable asset, and this might be somebody that we want to trade while we can. I feel like first base DH types we can find quite easily. I think this is a perfect opportunity to turn around one of our second chance stars and help him find a new team that actually helps us improve. So we're going to add a new shortlist called Former Rockies. Former Rocket J Squirrel, excuse me, and we're going to trade him for a prospect. I'd love to get actually a prospect package if I could. How does that work? No, we're not getting anything good for that. I'm not that surprised. His salary is not that unreasonable. I find it kind of shocking that people are hung up about it. If I half his salary, does that turn into anything special? Does that get me anywhere? Not really. Mm. This becomes a pure salary dump at that point, and I don't need to dump the salary that much. So I think we just deal with it. Kyle Farmer is illegal, you know that. We can't have Kyle Farmer. It's illegal. Matt Biggers is like, why do you never make any trades? I will make trades. I'll make the right trade at the right time, but I'm not going to trade just to trade. Hall of Fame voting. Let's fucking go. Abreu, yes. Beltran, yes. Ryan Braun, yes. Oh, do we have a Hall of Fame thing set up? I like having it set up so that people don't have to wait. Waiting period? None. Okay. That just instantly added a bunch of names. That's fine with me. That is acceptable. Then this goes from being like, wow, this is kind of a lame class to, oh my god, it's got Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera. And both those guys easily sail into the Hall of Fame without any hesitation, right? Any other like ultra stars here? I think Alex Rodriguez is still eligible, so we'd want to vote for him if we can. There he is. I'm gonna keep it at 10 people. I think it also makes the Hall of Fame discussion more interesting. Joey Votto will always be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Is there anybody else over 60 WAR? Zach Greinke, I think he's a pretty obvious Hall of Famer in my opinion. Edwin Encarnacion, I can't get past the shortness of his career. Um, I'm not opposed to it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. There's Cruz. Ichiro and Sabathia are already in, so we don't have to worry about them. It's kind of fun. I will toss a vote to Adam to David Wright, although I don't think it matters in the end. Between Yadi Molina and Buster Posey, I think I vote for Yadi Molina, but it's close. We're gonna submit ballot, and we'll see how this plays out. Okay, Anthony Prado is a legal target. Okay, well, I'm listening. Rain Dawson is pretty decent. This is an okay trade. What am I going? I'm going to remember Carlos Luna, who I'm not going to keep anyway. Yeah, this is an obvious yes. This is a big yes. Anthony Prado becomes a really, really good infielder for us that could also play the outfield. He's got a nice skill set. I think this is perfect. I think it's absolutely the kind of trade that we take. Let me make sure you didn't do anything sneaky, like try to pass him off as not having any major league experience. Yep. Welcome to the club, both of you gentlemen. Prado doesn't just make the 40-man, I think he makes the team, so we're gonna do one of those. I think Cooper McKeon is somebody I could be persuaded to give some innings to. I think he's got enough upside that I'm willing to let him try. Rain Dawson, I don't care enough about. I guess I did just trade for him, so sure, I guess we'll do that. I don't want to lose the guy I just traded for. That seems counterproductive. Like, why did I even bother asking if I wasn't going to keep him? Trade proposal. Romy Gonzalez is a major league player, so I'm going to have to say no thank you. Here we go. Devin Mann, second chance squad. Welcome aboard. Orlando Martinez. Welcome aboard. Jose Garces. Welcome aboard. We may lose some of these people in the Rule 5, and if I do, that's okay. I'm not gonna cry about it. But I do think it would be kind of neat if we could see how they would develop. How did I do in the draft rock? I got the #1 overall pick. That's huge. That's pretty cool. Otto Lopez. I have mixed feelings too, starting with the fact he played in the major leagues. That's not on. I'm getting a little bit of lag. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to reload the game. Give me just a second. Alright, friends, I'm back. You're telling me I have 2 unprotected players that have decent talent. I don't care. Alright, so Rule 5 draft is here. And Manuel Valdez is a major leaguer, so no thank you. Alright, Rule 5 time. I'd look... Tyler Thornton? Oh, yeah. I forgot how good he was. Oh, you're on the 40-man. Sorry, friend. No Rule 5 for you. Did I just lose Tyler Thornton? Probably. No, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Alright. Interesting. So, what's Emmett Sheehan's... Actually, I'm sorry, I should just wait until it's actually my turn to pick. Someone else might take Emmett Sheehan, which I think they just did. which is a bummer. Oh well. Um, I don't hate Luke Adams. I just think his skill set is very, very weird. And I don't think it plays in the major leagues. Not yet. And I've got a fair few first base types anyway. I'm trying to get rid of them, not trying to add more of them. So I think we politely but firmly decline any player of his ilk. Alec Thomas played in the majors, therefore he's garbage to me. Literal garbage. Nope. It's a very disappointing Rule 5 class, in my opinion. Hey, look, it's Nick Morabito. We remember that guy. Matt Cantorino is kind of interesting to me. He looks like he's barely played at all. Has he literally missed the last 3 years with being injured? Or did he just disappear? I think he's interesting enough, maybe as a reliever, that I think it's okay to take him. So we're going to try it out. We're going to see what that does for me. Jorge Barrosa. Nope, he has major league experience. Fuck you. Jack Neely. Nope. There's that Jose Garces guy I've heard so much about. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling it this year. I'm not really seeing anybody here that really gets me all that excited. Yeah. I think I just end the Rule 5 this year. I think I've got what I wanted. I did lose Michael Prosecki. Let's pour one out as a former Rocky. I mean, he's fine. Like, I could see him being a useful pitcher for the right team. Also, notice if he plays a single inning with the White Sox, then he's dead to me. So just keep that in mind, Michael. Maybe you should say, no, I don't feel good. I don't want to play. You're goddamn right you don't want to play. Not interested, Phillies. Do better. Has the new league year started? I think it has. I think you'll only see... Yeah, 2026 this year? Okay. Ryan McMahon might return an okay investment, but he's also the kind of guy we want to keep. Like, we don't get a ton of value out of getting rid of him. Osvaldo Cabrera, I said you're dead to me. Sam Hilliard, you've played in the major leagues. That's rude. I know there's nothing I can do about it, but I do find it very irritating that I can't just say, oh, okay, what if I just didn't do that? Edgar Isaiah. Matt Barr is excelling in improving control. Okay, well, that's fine. Respond to message, cancel program. Okay, all right. Let's keep going. I could turn off AI trades. I guess that's fine. This episode's already gone quite long. Zach McKinstry, you've played in the major leagues, you dirty dog. You dirty son of a gun. Yeah, so looking at how long this video has already run and thinking about the decisions I'm making, I think even though I'm not having big off seasons, I'm still making big decisions. So I think I will follow my Friday footprint, which is we do one episode for the off season, one episode for the regular season. Maybe other episodes will be a little bit quicker, but I think this one has been important for setting the tone for the franchise. I know we spent a little bit of time setting rosters and stuff like that, but I think it makes the game more interesting and helps you see my thought process. I got money burning a hole in my pocket. I only have 4.75 million. That's okay. I want a good all-around player. Raw power is useful, but it's not crucial to me. Because you play in Colorado. Eye potential is huge for me. I need someone that knows how to take a walk. So Bill Prieto. There's very little not to like about him. I don't know a thing about his personality, which concerns me a little bit. Maybe that causes me to shy away a little bit. But probably not. Antonio Correa cannot play second base. That's a lie. I like Willie Blanco a lot. I think he's got a ton of potential. I just don't know that I like the fact that he's not that great a catcher. I think Sal Delgado is perfect. I know there is 20 bazillion risk involved with him, but if he stays behind the plate, he's not just a star, he's a mega star. I need to make a new short list, and this is going to be IAFAs, International Amateur Free Agents. Let's fucking go. You know what? Let's not take any chances. 4, 7, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, done. If you sign, you sign. You don't, you don't. But you're such an amazing player that even with this incredibly high development risk, if you do pan out, you become, golly, maybe a future Hall of Famer. That's how good you could be. This reminds me of Avila, that one guy we had with the Pirate series a couple 3 years ago. Same kind of energy, but he's also good at catching, which was Avila's Andres Avila's big issue. So we'll see. But I hope he signs with us. It'd make me very, very happy if he did. Guys, we did it. I have $174 million. Understood. I have nothing to spend that money on right now. I'm maxed out on player development, right? That's not true, is it? It is true. It is true. Yeah. And we're maxed out on scouting too, so we've got plenty of money spent there. This is not a good proportion for me. I don't want that much time to Major League Scouting. Let's do 25. 25. Let's just do 25 across the board, maybe. That's not true, is it? Is that what I want? I think that's probably fine. I could actually probably take even a little bit more off of Major League Scouting because I really want to make sure we hit the amateurs and the internationals. Especially the amateurs. I think that's important. This is a good ratio for me. I'm not as interested about players once they hit the major leagues because then I can just rely on their stats. So we're gonna see what the voting results look like. Probably at least, yeah, Verlander. Oh, I didn't even vote for Verlander. That's a mistake on my part. I just missed him. Because otherwise I definitely would have voted for him. I think this isn't a terribly shocking list of one and dones. I think Torrey Hunter's kind of... Oh, Torrey Hunter's not a one and done anyway. I think Evan Longoria is going to get a couple votes. I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer, maybe. I think you have to really squint hard to see it. But I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think it's an impossibility. We'll see, though. Let's see spring training begins. And let's try to get geared up. I haven't talked about what's happening with this season at all because, frankly, I don't know. I think it's going to take... Yeah, I don't know. Just don't know. Once we have our Major League roster set, that's when we'll start calling the minors again. Anything crazy happen? Ezekiel Tovar is getting significantly better, which is exciting. And that's it. Okay. Well, that's fine. You can't win them all, can you? Spoiler alert, you cannot. Addison Barger definitely has Major League experience. How dare you? I would just put up like this great big sign, like maybe like an automatic reply saying, if you're offering Major League players, go fuck yourself. I probably need to be quite that aggressive about it, but I guess it would stop the emails. Right, we're gonna definitely want to stock up here. Isaiah, Brecht, Madden, Smith, Carrig, Hanahan, Bananahan, maybe. It's guys, it's Shrek. Amazing. Wow. All right. Okay. You absolute buffoon. No. I was gonna say, oh, I need to make sure. Oh, right there. I control everybody's future. I am the decider. Um, that reminds me of George W. Bush. That's a long callback for those of you who don't know. I used to follow this one like weblog, and they used to make fun of him for calling himself the decider, which I also think is kind of funny. Wait, I thought Tovar just gained. What's happening? Oh, you're doing it again. Game cease. I only care about my scouts. I don't care about your filthy, unwashed scouts. This pitching staff's gonna be rough, my dude. It's gonna be rough as shit, but it's what we signed up for, I guess. So, yeah. Give me my pitching staff. I want Dollander starting. I don't know why you're not even willing to allow him start, but he's going to start this spring training. I'm overruling you, game. You can take Kyle Freeland's place, I guess. Set it all up any way you like. And we're not going to start Charlie Condon again. I don't know what we're doing here. You can DH, I guess, because I really don't care about Hunter Goodman. He's not that special, so yeah, this is what we're rolling with here. Let's simulate through the end of spring training. Let's go. Stroman, no improvement. Canarella got worse. That's kind of scary. Yanquiel Fernandez got better. Matt Barr got better. Josiah Hartshorn got better. So we had a successful offseason, I think, in terms of like practicing and stuff. I mean, the problem with Mr. Jameson Hanna is that you were already kind of a marginal player. Are you in the second chance squad? Yeah, you are in the second chance squad. Yeah. I'm going to send you to the minor leagues, but there's every bit of a chance you just end up getting cut. To get under the roster limit, so that'll be kind of a concern. A personal message. Nothing too wild here. It's mostly people making marginal gains or losing slightly, so that's fine. Let's play up to March 23rd. We're going to depend a lot on development. That's going to be a huge part of how this team gets better. We need to find pitching. Pitching is going to be incredibly challenging for us because we are playing as the Rockies. But we can't punt on it either, right? That's not a thing that we're allowed to do. So, all right. So I have 48 players in the major leagues, 25 of whom are pitchers. That's an excessive number of pitchers. I want 13. Bain to the minors, Beller to the minors. I think it's funny that Golgoski actually started games for me, but he's going to the minor leagues. Blaine Enlow to the minor leagues. Madden to the minors. Martinez to the minors. Thornton to the minors. Wow, Thornton's already washed out in like record time. Damn. Are you just like tricking me? Like, did I hallucinate how good he was, or am I thinking of somebody else? No, I think he literally just disintegrated, and the game is like, no, he was never good. Are you sure about that? I'm just gonna remove him from the roster. If he ends up staying, he ends up staying, but that's already looks like a yikes. Palmquist to the minors, Sun to Lazetta. Oh, I'd have to waive him. That's fine. That's completely fine. All right, down to 16 pitchers. 3 more still have to go. Pete Lambert pitched meaningful innings last year. He wasn't terrible as a starter, but he also wasn't great. I guess we could send him back to the minors. I guess that's fine. Um, Brody Breck does not see Major League mound until his control improves. Same with Isaiah. Same with McKeon here. Now down to 12 pitchers. That's too few pitchers. Let's bring what's-his-face back. Let's bring, I guess Palmquist of my choices here is the one that I'm more interested in calling up, so we'll do that. So Palmquist, you make the Major League roster. Congratulations. Ryan Smith makes the Major League roster. Okay. And I think that's it for the pitchers. So deciding who does what, pretty straightforward. Let's kill the team. Let's not kill the team. That's excessive. I'm not gonna support homicide for a team that hasn't done anything yet. Maybe next year. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Matt Cantorino, low key, could be considered our ace, which is incredibly embarrassing, but is nonetheless true. So he's gonna start. I believe in Chase Dollander. I think Chase Dollander can be an okay starter, and he's not gonna be a bad starter if we never give him the chance, and so he's gonna get that chance. Chase Dollander, you're starting the year in the major leagues. And you're gonna be the number 2 starter. Done. Our third starter, I love the idea of having Tyler Herb, or Herb perhaps, in this rotation. I think as a major league junk baller, he's the kind of thing that you want in a rotation to stabilize it. I feel like Kyle Freeland at least deserves a chance to be a starter again, I guess. Maybe. I think Ryan Feltner definitely gets a starting spot, and I definitely think the last rotation spot goes to Gabriel Hughes. I think that's fine. No, not Hughes. Hughes doesn't have stamina. I think Kyle Freeland gets the 5th starter spot. It also gives me a genuine left-hander in the rotation, which I think is something we do need. I guess I'll go to Ryan Smith, but I think Anthony Molina is a perfectly acceptable closer given a lack of other amazing opportunities, so I think he can close. I think that's acceptable. Who's my second best reliever? If I set the 2 of you to relievers, who becomes my second best reliever? I really just like the fact that I can't just set the position for 2 people at once, but I guess it's alright. I just want to look at relievers. Right? I just want to stare down at relievers. Carson Palmquist is nothing but a lefty killer. I guess as a secondary role, he can get a little bit of middle relief in, but he's significantly better against lefties than righties. Like it's not even. I guess he's okay against righties too. I think Angel Chivilli offers us something of interest. I think it's mostly just a bunch of garbage tier relievers to be perfectly content with you, to the point where it doesn't really matter who does what role, because they all suck. There's always a chance that they might not suck forever, and that's kind of what we're hoping for. But for right now, it's bad. This is not a good bullpen. It's not even a mediocre bullpen. A mediocre would be a pretty massive improvement. I think Chivilli becomes a setup guy. I think Ryan Smith becomes an emergency starter and a long reliever. I think blah 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 blah. I think Jeff Criswell becomes my other long reliever. And then I think Hughes, Vodnik, and Hill all become middle relievers. And to be fair, like there is room for these guys to get better. Just because they stink now doesn't mean they'll stink forever. But we're not winning very many games on the back of this pitching staff. It's just not likely to happen, right? All right, Drew Romo's clearly the starting catcher. The question is, who gets the backup role? Fulford is by far the better defensive catcher. By far. Goodman is by far the better hitter, and he can also play the outfield, which I think makes him more useful to me than Fulford. Although it's close. Like, there's definitely a world in which Fulford gets meaningful play appearances at some point in the future. Donson to the minors. That's an easy choice. I think Ariel Amador was fine. I think I'd like him to be a lot better, but I think for right now, he can handle second base. Unless it's Anthony Prado. I think Prado is guaranteed the utility role on this club. I think he's pretty good at it. Aaron Schunk to the minors. That's easy. That's an easy decision. Charlie Condon obliterated AAA baseball. I think we have to let him play in the majors. Could win, lose, or draw. I think RJ Shrek is genuinely worth keeping up too. Are you another one of my second chancers? You're not. Where did you come from? Oh, I traded for you. I did do that, didn't I? Guys, I don't remember doing this. Am I losing my mind? I do not remember doing this. I'm not complaining because he's a good play. I don't remember that. I even did this episode and I don't remember that. I'm happy about it. I think he's going to be a great fit, but that I don't remember that. Anyways, no, I do remember that. I do remember that because they got excited about his. Yes. I do remember that now. Okay, all right. You're not losing what's left of your mind, Avi. That's something you can be proud of. GJ Hill, I think, is gone. I think he can enjoy the minor leagues. Montgomery goes to the minors. Yes, I even made a joke about his name. Oh my god. Okay. Cole Carrick goes to the minors. I don't need this many outfielders. I truly don't. I think Charlie Condon goes back to the minors. I keep going back and forth about this, but even though I don't think he's got a ton left to learn in the minor leagues, I think he hasn't turned it into real production that we can count on yet. So I think we do send him back to the minors. I think it's a hard decision to make, but I think it's the right decision to make. Still way too many outfielders. Kokoska, get out of here. None of six outfielders. Okay. I don't want Montero anymore. I think two first base only players is a luxury I cannot afford. And then let's say keep Shrek on the team, which I think he actually could even turn into the leadoff guy, which says what I think about him and his skills. So I think maybe trading Montero is worthwhile. Does anybody want him for no money? Okay. Eduardo Beltre, I think we just do it. I don't think about it. I don't fuss over it. I think we just make the trade. Montero, you become a former Rocky, and you get to play for the Twins, who are trying to win now. That's an obvious trade to make. I make that trade 20 times out of 20. I think Mr. Beltre here becomes a not draft pick. Where do I rename my short lists? I want to call that one prospects. No, I think it's fine as it is. I think it's fun. I understand that not draft picks means prospects. Okay. Here's the opening roster, which means I have to make a spot for RJ Shrek. Alright, you. Alright, so let's set this lineup up. Let's get this done. I want batting ratings. Best contact hitter is Yanquiel Fernandez, which I find kind of surprising. Oh, I'm not looking at the correct batting ratings. I need to look at BABIP. That's more important. Here we go. Tovar is very clearly either our number 3 or our cleanup hitter. I think because he's got a little bit more power, I think he fits best as a cleanup guy. That's where he slots in, because he's a dirty slot. I think Brenton Doyle hits high in the lineup. I think he would be a very good number 2 hitter. So who hits third on this team? Who has the combination of contact and batting eye that means they're going to get on base a lot? It could be Sean Bouchard here. Sean Bouchard doesn't need to be platooned for, which is really exciting, and I think that means he's our number 3 hitter. I think we just trust him. We just trust him to do his thing. I feel like Ryan McMahon is either leadoff or third hitter on this team, or fifth on this team. And I think starting off, I think Ryan McMahon makes a good leadoff hitter. I think he's good at getting on base, especially last season. Maybe this is a bit of a risk. We can try it. Then who hits fifth? And somebody that's got at least some power to him. I think Michael Toglia can hit fifth. Plus, he's a switch hitter. He also has a pretty good mix of pitches. A good mix of batting approaches. Although he's much better against lefties, he can still handle himself against righties, and so that's fine. Alright. Now, there's kind of a loud piece in this room, which is where does RJ Shrek play, and does he play every day? RJ Shrek is really good against right-handed pitching, much less so against left-handed pitching. So I think platooning him in back in left field makes a ton of sense. I know that Beck can handle himself in left field if I had to have him play every day, but I really want to see if RJ Shrek can offer us a little bit of a spark. Yeah, so let's put him in left, and let's put Beck in left. Let's do that. Drew Romo is a pretty good hitter, so I think we let him bat 7th, and we don't worry about him either. Loki having all these switch hitters is actually really reassuring to me. It means that I'm not losing a lot on the platoons. Who DHs is a good question to ask. I think Amador hits 9th. I think Amador is going to play every day. I think he is going to play. He is going to hit 9th. Unless we platoon Prado. Hmm. Hmm. Does Amador shift to the bench in favor of Prado? There is a universe where Prado ends up being a really good second baseman. Like, really, really, really good. Let's compare them. Right? Let's see what am I missing if I leave Amador on the bench. All right. Prado is substantially a better hitter. He's definitely a better hitter now and will probably be a better hitter in the future. He doesn't have a ton of power. I'm not as worried about that. That doesn't concern me as much. Amador is a much better base stealer, so that's something else to consider. So offensively, I think the edge and gap power and batting eye makes Prado a pretty good starter. Defensively, Amador is better, but he's not that much better. I think we start Prado. I think maybe we let Amador continue to grow a little bit. But also I think he just is what he is at this point. And maybe what he is just a very useful bench bat. So I think Mr. Prado, I think you're going to get to hit 8th. So the question is who DHs? It's Fernandez or Veen. And I don't know which one it would be. It's going to be Fernandez for one very important reason. Actually, it cannot be both of them because they're both left-handed. So they're basically the same hitter as far as we're concerned. I think it is Fernandez because Veen can handle center field in an emergency. Which makes him a bit more useful to me coming off the bench. It's close. Hopefully at some point Charlie Condon steals this. But I think for right now, Fernandez can DH, and I think it turns out to be fine. Do I juggle the lineup at all? I don't think so. I know Fernandez has really good power. So there's an argument to place him higher in the lineup. But that means he's going to have very good power someday. Right now, his power is not that exceptional. Hunter Goodman is probably a better, more useful player than I'm making him. Do I let him DH? Especially against left-handed pitching, I think the answer to that question is yes. I think especially against lefties, Goodman is by far a better choice, and I think we move everybody else down to accommodate him. Okay. All right. Quite a bit of platooning here, but I think it's platooning for the best, and I think the platooning we are making is meaningful. I think it does make us a better team. Let us now generate the depth chart. I don't mind Amador getting some reps here and there. I don't want him playing third base that much. He can play once a week. And you can play once a week here. I think letting Fernandez play right field every once in a while is fine. I think letting Veen play first base or right field every once in a while is fine. I want to make sure that players get plenty of playing time, but I also think that Bouchard is a good enough right fielder to hold his own against either deal. Also, so we all know the gap power is mostly about doubles and triples, right? In a park like the Rockies, those doubles and triples might turn into home runs naturally. So this is an okay lineup. It's not a great lineup. It's definitely not a lineup that I feel I have infinite confidence in. I think this is an average lineup. I think it's a league average lineup that, with the right breaks, could turn into better than a league average lineup. I think you got a really good mix of skills. I think we got some really good on base guys, and if RJ Schreck can get on base at a high clip, I think he'll see himself move up the lineup pretty quickly. An awful lot is being placed on the shoulders of Tovar. An awful lot. I think he can handle it, but if he doesn't handle it, I think the team suffers dramatically. I think this becomes a much less dangerous team without him at his very best. I think Charlie Condon is almost there. I think he's almost there. If he develops as the way that he's also only 22 years old. Like 22 years old is a perfectly fine time to be in AAA. At least to start off the season. As he plays, if he keeps improving, I think he makes the roster. None of my corner outfielders are automatic, yes, pencil them in every single day. None of them are. I think Prado becomes a very interesting player. I think this is not what I expected when I acquired him. I did not expect him to start the season with us in the major leagues. I like his versatility a lot. What to me matters the most is his on-base skills. And he has displayed superior on-base skills in every season of the minor leagues. If not now, never, is basically what he should be thinking. If he doesn't have a good season to start off the year, I think he probably just disappears. I think he probably ends up retiring a lot sooner. Do we have any exciting help on the way? Not really. We haven't really had a chance to sit down and work on improving our minor leagues yet. Wasn't Hartshore my first overall pick last year? Please don't tell me that he's already flamed out. No, it's Canarella, who still has a ton of upside. He's got a lot of upside, so hopefully he can turn out to be something really, really good. I did promise we'd spend the last part of the episode here making sure we're at roster limits. I think we just demote some people. I don't think we need to cut anybody. So Skipper and Ward and Weatherly. You can all go to the minor leagues. Yeah. Neat. Jose Garces is already 21. He probably should be an A-ball now. Yeah. Having guys in their mid-20s still... Okay, 24, I think you're just done. I don't think we keep you around anymore. Maybe we can hang on to you just because you seem to like it there, but you are not a very good player. I could sign some minor league free agents, actually. There's actually some argument that I should be looking for those. Wow, Luis Arias not getting picked up by anybody is interesting. It's former Guardian Daniel Johnson. It's Nick Allen. It's Dios Bel Arias. He also kind of sucks. Yeah. Any pictures of note, perhaps? I go to see the great perhaps. Dylan McClain, we can offer him a contract. He seems like an okay guy. Yeah, we can give him an offer. An offer he can't refuse. An offer of I will pay you like $10 a day. I don't know how much rookie league you think, but it can't be a lot more than that. Lucas Wepf. Sure. Welcome to the second chance squad, Mr. Wepf. I'm assuming he'll sign, but I see no reason why he wouldn't. Dylan McClain, OOTP second chance squad, and will also offer Dalton Fowler a contract. Oh, you're just like, fuck you? Okay, well, go to hell then. Oh, were you literally on my team before and I cut you? No, you signed with Boston and they cut you. Well, you should try not being a loser then, bro. Okay. I think that'll do it. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see how this season goes. It could be good. Oh, take the filter off. I don't monitor over 30. As long as they never played in the major leagues. But it's just unlikely that there's going to be somebody that never played in the major leagues. Nobody signed German Marquez? Okay. Because he's still available, I will offer him a contract. How about a 3-year deal at $2 million a year with a team option or two? How does that grab you? I've heard of betting on yourself. This is like betting on yourself and you bankrupt, like instantaneously. Okay. If we do end up getting Marquez, that's going to be a pretty nice little get for us. We'll see. But that's going to end today's episode. I hope you are enjoying the series. I do apologize that I'm not giving you the full season as I promised. I think keeping these videos at least a little bit shorter makes them more entertaining, makes them more engaging. So hopefully you'll forgive me for not making a 3-hour video. Until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.